Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Pat Walsh channel with me, your host, Dirty Pat Walsh. So today we're going to do the long-awaited Stoker's apple. Now this it comes in a pound bag, and I got this in a package from Hillary Thompson right after I'd met her for the first time in Pittsburgh. It was amazing meeting Hillary. It was just amazing. We've been pretty close friends over the internet for a couple of years now, and it was like meeting her was just like instant talking like we talk on the internet. So it was really cool. And but I guess on her way back home to Georgia, she stopped by a little specialty tobacco shop that she thought looked interesting. And she picked me up the Creek series, and she picked me up some Red Supreme, and I've done reviews of all of those. And she picked me up a pound bag of Stoker's apple. Now, I've had this a couple times now because I've tried to do this video a couple times and had it not work out. But it's the pound bag. For me, this takes a long time to get through. Like Hillary sent me a bag of the pound bag of the moonshine chew, which is excellent, and I still have about an eighth of a bag left, and it's still as good as the day I opened it, which was about a year and a half ago. So it's what I dip a lot, but I don't chew as much at all. Like I'll chew every couple times a week, maybe. Depending on what's going on. But like I'll go through a bag like this pretty quick. But the apple, the 1 pound bag, that'll probably last me a little bit, which is great. I'm sure people are very familiar with the Stoker's line if they're watching this video. It's very simple packaging. It has Bobby Stoker on the cover, and it's quality, tradition, value, chewing tobacco, apple, Stoker's, net weight 16 ounces, good picture of Bobby, and smokeless tobacco is addictive. There you go. The back tells a story. I don't really want to read it, but it basically talks about their family history and how their goal for 3 generations has been to provide a great chew or a great dip at a fair price. And they explain how they process the tobacco, which is a multi-pass process. Now, I don't know anything about how chewing tobacco is manufactured. I've never seen it made. But I think what they mean by this is their leaves are sprayed like a bunch of times by with the stuff they process chewing tobacco with, instead of like I think a product like Red Man or Big Duke or Star or whatever would be. I think the leaves are soaked in the stuff and then strained off, and I don't know, but whatever it means quality with Stoker's, because their products are always even if they're out of date, they always seem fresh, and they're really good. They're my favorite brand across the board. Like Stoker's Mint is my favorite mint. Their long cut wintergreen is my favorite long cut wintergreen. Same with the straight. I love their fine cut natural. I like their long cut natural, but not as much as the fine cut. But yeah. So anyway, it came in this one of these rip off the the strip, and there's a Ziploc pack inside, or a Ziploc thing inside. So you pull that open. Now, I'm not sure if this thing was compromised or not, because there was a little section where the tobacco leaf was sticking out of the Ziploc, and it looked like it had been keeping the Ziploc open a bit. So, I don't know, but whatever. It's still fresh and sticky and everything. I'm gonna take a little cheek here. I don't chew a lot as much, I don't take a big wad and chew on it for hours. Like, I'll chew on this for about half an hour. Cheers. Let's get a bit more. What I would do with chewing tobacco is I chew it up a bit. It's not like dip. You just put dip in your lip. But with chewing tobacco, you got to chew it up a bit. And then I pack it in my cheek and let it do its work. And it's like you can pull it, chew on it a bit more if you want. Makes your spit black as tar. Now this apple is not like dip apple. It's not like Skull apple or whoever else makes an apple dip. Kayak, I think Timberwolf, whatever. This apple tastes like... This is something I would almost want to add to an apple baked good to make it warmer. You know what I mean? Even though I would never do that. It's it reminds me of being a little kid and smelling my mom bake an apple crumble, or making a pie, or making applesauce. You know what I mean? It's really mellow, and but not like it tastes like a well-baked, firm, well-baked apple. You know what I mean? It's not like a mushy baked apple kind of taste. It's like when the apple in the product that you're making is just baked perfectly, and still like a little bit al dente. That's what this tastes like. It tastes like apple cookies or something like that, Yet at the same time, also having that great chewing tobacco taste in there as well. It's a very, very good product, and I have a huge, huge thank you for sending it to me, Hillary. I got this. This and the Red Supreme and the Creek line that I've all done reviews on now. Shortly after I got home from Pittsburgh and meeting Hillary for the first time ever, which was an incredible experience. And and then I got home. About a week later, this box showed up at my door with all that stuff that I've done reviews on now. So thank you so much, Hillary. I can't thank you enough. This is amazing. And yeah, these pound bags, they last me forever. Like, I'm still chewing the moonshine chew she sent me about a year and a half ago. I don't chew very much. I'll chew more than 99% of the people I know. Like I'll chew maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and mostly I just dip. You know, I find it. I just find it more convenient and easier to dip than have a big wad of tobacco in my face. You know, and chewing tobacco, it's really like, it's something that you chew because you like the taste of it. It's not like, if you're looking for nicotine, it's not the place to go. It's very, very low in nicotine. You know, I really like good sweet chews like this. You know, like this and the Red Supreme. You know, I also really go for the twists and the plugs, like plug tobacco. Hillary, she sent me a couple times this one called Apple Sun Cured plug tobacco, which is, it's another Apple chewing tobacco. And I've described it in review as feeling like it's got a few baked, or dried apple slices pressed into it or something like that. Very, very subtle, mild apple. But this is like, if the flavor profile that I detect in the sun-cured apple was like cranked up to 100, it would taste kind of like this, you know? Yeah, it's a delicious, warm apple taste, and yeah, thank you very much, Hillary. All right, that's been the long put off Stoker's Apple Chew review. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I have a walk around video that I may attach to this, or I may post up later, or I may not post at all. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it yet. But until the next video. Oh yeah, I wanted to thank all of you, all the new faces I'm seeing here, for for being here, subscribing, commenting, you know, asking me questions. I always have a standing rule. You can ask me anything you want about anything I do, and I'll do my best to answer it at any given time. So, question and answer time is always open on the Dirty Pat Walsh channel. I'll give you the answers I know to the best of my ability. But it's fantastic to see the new people. I'm going to do a shout-out video soon and mention them all. So, yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. I really appreciate all your help, all your support. Be well. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dirty Pat Walsh channel here on YouTube. I'm your host, Dirty Pat Walsh. Right now, I am walking downtown. I got business. But the weather here is so nice. I just had to vlog with you. It's we just had our official last weekend of summer. I guess, of course, everybody did in my time zone. Probably, I don't know how that shit works, people. But yeah, last weekend of summer we just had. It was real quiet in town because everybody was out of their cottages and all that jazz. So yeah, sometimes I do these little walk around videos, let people see a bit of the town where I live. Where are we now? Right outside the Service Canada building, where you go for your pogey. And I often refer to, or I have often referred to the big store where I have to go and I'm right across the road from the big store, the No Frills Grocery. It's huge and intimidating. But yeah, right now we're getting into downtown. We're about to pass Sherbrooke Street. Now, it's funny, when I walk up here, I have very distinct memories. I had a job. When I cross the road, I'll try to show you. But I had a job at a pasta shop when I was in, I don't know, fucking 2013, something like that. Best job I ever had up until the end. And anyway, shortly after that experience came a couple more horrible work experiences. And anyway, the pasta shop is in that, you can't really see the sign no more, but it's in that little plaza. It's at the end. And right across the road is the food bank, where after it was kind of deemed by my doctor that I'm not able to work anymore, that's the food bank that kept me alive for a couple years. And I still have to go there occasionally, but I don't have to be there on the dot, once a month for my grocery pickup, which is nice. I certainly don't miss going to the food banks, but I got nothing but love and respect for all of them for doing what they do and feeding people. Peterborough has a huge homeless crisis for a small city. Mainly because when I moved here in '92, at the tender age of 21, I turned 22 the first month I was here. Peterborough was an easy town to live in. Up until I got married, I never paid more than $300 in a roommate situation. Usually less than that. And if I had my own place, just by myself, it wouldn't cost me more than $450 for like a 1-bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, living room apartment, which was pretty decent. But Toronto has kind of grown a lot in the last decade or so, and it's kind of pushing itself up here into the beautiful cottage country that is Kawartha Lakes region. And it's basically tripled the cost of living, cost of rent. Now if I was to go for an apartment, probably not even as good as one, the ones I had when I was living by myself for $450. That would cost probably $1,200 a month now, maybe $1,000. No lower than $800, no lower than $900, I'd say. So the cost of living's dramatically increased. I pay a fair amount for the little place I live in, but it's a good place. I've lived there for 4 years now. So this is a Showplace Performance Center. I've played there a couple times, but that was when I talk about no place, that was the venue that opened up, that spurred us to create an underground artistic space where people could do performances and stuff like that was accessible to anybody, whereas Showplace was completely inaccessible to our local underground art scene, which at the time was blossoming way more than the I don't know what you call it, the corporate theater scene or whatever, the big time theater. We have a fair bit of that too. But yeah, so that was Showplace, and I did a video once called Trip Through the Old Weird Mall or something like that, and that's this place across. That's this place across the road. Now, what we're looking at is the Market Hall Theater, and that's the space that I've performed in for 25 years now. Most recently, a couple months ago, and it's pretty great. This is Charlotte Street. Charlotte Street's a cool street in Peterborough. Yeah, it's interesting. Some cool restaurants and junk shops and weird old bars and shit like that. I used to live right 25 feet from where I'm standing now. Now, when I speak of my upcoming job as a harmonica teacher, that place, the NDP office, that was the old Marcus Mars Music, when they've expanded now and are living in the North End. So we won't be walking there today. This is the one tobacco shop we have in town. People call it the Smo King, and it's, I don't know, if you like smoking cigars, it's the place to go. But that's really, if you want a water bong or a fucking $50 Cuban cigar, you can go there and get it. But they don't even sell dip there. And if they did, it would be $30 a can like anywhere else, so who fucking cares? Where else do we have? Ow, fuck, ow. Yeah, let's see Peterborough Square. That mall is a weird, dead mall. There's nothing going on in that mall other than McDonald's and a couple stores that look like fronts for fucking coke dealers or something. It's weird, but it's air conditioned and nobody's ever there, so you can go hang out in the air conditioning sometimes. Sometimes I go in there and ride the elevators just for kicks. Well, I did that more when I had more time on my hands. But yeah, where are we now? Simcoe Street. The bus terminal is down there. That's where we catch the bus. There's some crazy lady talking in the street here. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
There you go. Intersection's clear. Go ahead.
Some kind of traffic dispute that we narrowly avoided. There was a woman in the middle of the road screaming at a car. And I was trying to make a turn. Whatever. We saw it. This is just kind of the main drag of downtown. It's a lot of like dead stores, Money Mart, fucking rip-off artists and shit like that. A couple of restaurants here. This is Hot Belly Mama's. That's where I worked as a soul food chef for 6 years. Well, I worked the first year I was a dishwasher, but yeah, I worked there for a long time, and that was a good job too, until well, whatever. The hammer dropped. A lot of these old storefronts right now are being turned into political offices as we have an election coming up. So there's NDP, Green Party, Liberal. I don't know where the Conservative Party's at, but we'll find out, I guess. That store across the road, Iceman Video Games, that's my little boy's favorite store in town, I think. And now we're about where I need to be. We're approaching Hunter Street, and we're gonna take a shortcut, ladies and gentlemen, to the bank. I actually don't use a bank, I use a credit union. And there's only one, there's only one branch of this particular credit union, and it's a walk downtown to get to it. I don't have a bank card or nothing. And I like not having a bank card because it keeps me frugal and it keeps me walking. But, all right. This corner here, where this guy's kind of holding up the wall there, that was the no problem. That was the spot where I busked when I first moved to town. That was my office for a bunch of years, and yeah, it was my place, and people respected that. This was a time when there weren't like crackhead panhandlers all over town. There was just anyone who was on the street was buskers were the only thing we had. We didn't have panhandlers. We didn't have anything like that. And not that I'm dissing anymore. It was just a different lay of the land at the time. Peterborough's changed a lot since I moved here in '92. It used to be a town full of gumboot hippies playing fucking frisbee on Hunter Street after the bar closed. Probably the strongest drug you could find in town was magic mushrooms or pot. And like I said, some people have moved into town from other places and brought a lot of drugs and stuff with them. So we have a huge opiate problem here now. We have a huge meth problem here, huge crack problem, cocaine. And it's funny because people always focus on those things, but they don't. Alcohol always falls under the radar. Alcohol, I used to drink fucking really heavy. I drank so much it made my liver blow up into hepatitis. And I was told to stop drinking right away. And alcohol causes more damage than most things. But yeah, anyway, I'm at the bank now. I'll continue this later. This is probably going to be a day-long video. So be well. Talk to you soon.